This is a video showing you how to do a simple assemble edit using Blackmagic Design's Davinci Resolve. And this is particularly pertinent if you are working remotely and don't feel that you want to spring for the cost of the Adobe Creative Cloud. Blackmagic Design's Davinci Resolve, I'll just call it Resolve from now on, is free for all intents and purposes. I'm going to launch it now. This is something that, although it takes up quite a bit of space, it's about 3.5 gigabytes once installed. It's a very powerful program. It's been developed, so you can see I've already got some existing work here. This is when I just did a test to make sure it was working, but we're going to create a new project, so I'm going to click New Project. And what am I going to call it? I'm going to call it Tim's Clips 2. Choose Create, and I'm presented with the default interface, and not dissimilar from Premiere Pro. There are a number of tabs depending on the activity you want to undertake. So there's a media tab, there is cut tab, editing, effects, color grading, audio, and then an export tab here like this. Most usually you'll be working in this edit tab here. So what I can do is click here. That's probably better if I go straight to the edit tab as I did previously. If I click here, right click and choose import media, and I'm going to go to the bin where I've got the September in Shorts clips here. I'm not going to bring in all of them, but let's just say we'll bring in the ones, say arbitrarily, these are the ones I want to show clips from these 4 pieces of work. Different frame rates. I've set this up already. When you first launch Resolve, it asks you for the resolution you're typically going to be working in. I've set this up at 1080p or HD resolution, but you can work in 4K or standard definition or other variations of the same. So I'm not going to change it. Everything will conform to that. And what you'll see is I've got the facility to scrub through the timeline. The layout, if you've not watched the Premiere Pro one, let me just talk through this. So my clips are here. I can change the display so it will show them in text format here like this. And if I can scroll through here, like very much the same. So you can see I've got different resolution clips going on there, and it gives me the duration of the clips here. I can sort these if I want, but typically you'll probably, with such a small number of clips, you probably just want to work like this. So the principle is essentially the same as Premiere Pro. You bring in your media. The interface on the Edit tab is such that you have 2 monitors. One which is the source monitor, one is the output monitor. Source monitor, if I double click a clip, it will appear in there. And then I can scrub through it in that fashion. Spacebar to play it, use the arrow keys to go 1 frame at a time, or I can use J, K and L. So L just plays normal speed forward.
Black and white is the sleeve, and
then press it again, twice the speed, 4 times the speed. K to stop backwards by pressing J, press it again, double speed backwards. So some people have muscle memory and have used other edit programs that inherits that, but you may find just scrubbing the timeline by using the mouse, the arrow keys, or just the space bar, using the stop things, is a way to navigate through that. As I say, this is the output monitor. Here is the timeline. By default, I'm not sure if we've got, oh yes, we've got small audio monitors here. You'll forgive me that I'm not as au fait with Resolve as I am with Premiere Pro, but the kind of paradigm remains largely the same. So I can get a more extensive view of the audio if I go here. At the moment I've got no clips added, so we'll probably have a look at that again in a moment. So here I've got a clip, and what I want to do is essentially add a small section of this into the timeline. So let's have the bit where it goes from there to appear there arbitrarily. So I for in point, and then let's just I can hold down the arrow keys. In fact, no, we don't really want that to jump, so we just want a little clip of him. In fact, I know this isn't this, but let's go from there. Damn. So you don't lean on the trackpad when you're doing this, because things will jump. So just hold it there like that. Let's go from there.
We're tracking those weaker or darker or different or fearing the other or marking their descent in your unit. Yes.
Okay, let's go to there, out, there like that. And again, as with Premiere Pro, you can selectively choose to just take the video by clicking and dragging that icon, or the audio by clicking and dragging that, or you can click and drag here and bring the whole thing down, and then it will appear on the timeline. As with Premiere Pro, you can snap. You've got the snap function on, which I believe is this one here. Let's just hover over, snapping, yep. I can turn that off if I'm not au fait or particularly like that. So I've got my indication of time passing, that's frames, that's seconds. So let's start, now I need to zoom in. The zooming is slightly different here in that you've got this bar up here. So you can see I can zoom right in there like that. I've got more granularity once I zoom in, so I can probably get this to 1 second there like that, and then this will snap there. So I've got 1 second of black, and then that starts there like that. So let's go to here, and then next clip I'm going to just put that there as a rough kind of marker. Given that you're going to be presenting this, if you've got some black in between, you can just pause the video and then talk about the clip you've just chosen. So let's now try a clip from Lick the Star. I'm just, for the interest of speed, I'm just going to take an arbitrary clip here like this, in and out points. We can drag here like that, and now we might want to scale that up. So let's have a look. Okay, so I might want to scale this up, and one of the ways you can do this, as I say, I'm not as familiar with this, but if I choose this clip and then choose the inspector, go up here like this, you see a bunch of tools appear on this side here, and for instance zoom, so it's ratio 1:1 at the moment, so I can maybe I actually did want it smaller than that, so it appeared as a, just for. So you've got a problem because the ratio is different, so it's never going to fit exactly in that frame. So maybe I should acknowledge that and just bring it down so it fits there with a border all around it. So let's do that, just unclick that, and now we've got that resized to that particular shape there like that. Okay, so let's pull out again. We want to make this roughly about a minute long, so I've chosen a big old clip there, so we're already at 54. Same things apply with moving things around or moving things on top of one another. Topmost layer is the one that gets precedence, but in this instance let's pull this back. We want it to end at that particular point there. Let's see what that looks like. That's kind of fine. So we just want one short more clip more here. Like this, so go back to my media pool. So let's take something from powers of 10 here, and again, arbitrary clip there, out there, and out. You will make more informed choices, I hope and believe. So here we are, again, way too long. So let's say I'm doing this, being mindful of the actual content. I'm going to drag this here like this, and only want about a second's gap in there, so just pull that back, probably pull that back as well. Just enough gap so we just pause it and then can talk about the thing itself. Let's see where we're doing on the duration. 52, already up to 1 minute, I believe. No, we're not. No. 50, there's the minute mark there. So much too much powers at 10. Let's say we're going to end it right about there. This is approximately 1 minute. I'm not going to get too fussy about that. Okay, so we've got powers of 10 there. Again, it's in different ratio to the clip we define the timeline with, which is shot in 16:9 or widescreen. These are 4:3 ratio, and consequently don't fill the frame. I could resize that. I could resize both of them, put one on top of the other, and have them both playing at once. The sound might not be too clever, but we're going to cover that in more detail in the editing section. So effectively I've got 3 clips there, so same process before. Going to have an in point there, And around about the minute mark, just allow a little bit of black. So let's zoom in, touch. A little bit of black here. Say there, so it doesn't stop abruptly. Out point there. That's good. Control S to save it. I believe it's Control S. Yes, it is. So good. And then let's go straight to the end, to this tab here where we're going to export it. Okay, so I've got presets here, so I can choose YouTube 1080p. Although it defaults to QuickTime format, I prefer MP4, slightly smaller files most usually. Give it a name here, so let's call this Tim BMD Clips 2, so it doesn't know whoever that is. Okay, and a location, so I'm going to put it in the stuff folder. Yeah, that's fine. And so that's all done there like that. And what I do now is choose Add to Render Queue. The advantage of doing it this way, and you can do it in Premiere, you use a kind of different exporting method, is that say I want to export this for different formats. So I'm going to do a high-res version, maybe for presentation. I want to do one that's more suitable for mobile devices, can send one to YouTube, another one to Vimeo, etc, etc. So I could queue these up, then go here, add that to render queue, and then it will work through the queue. Yeah. But I'm just going to do this one now, so click start render. It's going to whiz through this. The speed this takes will depend on the complexity of the timeline and the length. So this is under a minute and I wasn't doing anything fancy, so that's done there like that. So Control S just to save it again and close Davinci Resolve, and let's just see if that works. So Davinci Resolve, quit. Okay, now go to stuff, Tim BMD clip 2 is stuff, Tim BMD, there it is. QuickTime Player.
We're attacking those weaker or darker or different or fearing the other or marking.
Alright, I'm not going to play all of this, but there we go. If I just scrub through that in turn, you can see there's all my clips there. So that's doing it with Davinci Resolve.